Hey, welcome to another video on my second channel, the Digino02. Today, I went through and opened a gigantic box of the Digimon Trading Card Game BT09, the X record set. It was sent to me by Mecha Japan, so shout out, thank you for that. They have a promo code for some of my viewers that we will talk about at the end of the video. If you want to hang out until then, it's also going to be the pinned comment and also the description in this video, the offer they have for you there. But I often get asked if I'm going to cover the Digimon Trading Card Game or if I play it or if I collect it, and the answer is kind of no, and no. I know that might not be the best thing you want to hear if you're a big fan of the trading card game, but the purpose of this video is just to be honest. So the title is probably why I don't play the Digimon Trading Card Game, or it's just going to be some kind of slightly more clickbaity kind of, these are the best cards I pulled. But what I want to talk about today is my relationship to the card game, to the franchise, why I don't necessarily play the card game, and why I think that's perfectly okay. And I think that you should be fine with being a fan of a franchise but not having to love every single component of the franchise. But what I will say undeniably is that the cards are so awesome. I'm showing you right now the ones that stood out to me the most, the holographic cards that I got in the pack. There's no denying the card art is on another level for the Digimon Trading Card Game. It's by far my favorite part of the entire thing. Right now I'm looking at the Metal Garurumon card. I had Metal Graumon, or War Graumon actually, and yeah, I was just stunned by a lot of this art. There's a video on the main channel right now where we talk about the X-Antibody partners. So not every X-Antibody Digimon, but the ones like Agumon X and Gabumon X and Palmon X and Gyomon X, characters that you know from anime being partners with the main protagonist kids, showing up in the X-Antibody form. So we talk about that there. But for this video, yeah, I'm just gonna show you some footage of me going through the cards I got. Maybe you can tell me in the comments which ones are like super giga rare, because like I said, it's not really my thing. If that makes you think less of me, then sorry, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But the purpose is for me to explain why I don't really play the Digimon Trading Card Game, why I don't necessarily collect the cards, and then given how much time we have left, we'll just talk about some of the footage you're seeing on screen, some of my favorite monsters that I pulled, and also some other Digimon, I guess, trivia. Okay, so let's just stop beating around the bush. The Digimon Trading Card Game, I don't play it. I don't collect the cards. I was asked by Mecha Japan if I was interested in having a box, and I said sure, just to see what the hubbub was all about. And again, these cards are absolutely stunning, but just personally, as a hobbyist, I like video games, I like music, I like anime. I'm not necessarily a card guy. When I was a kid, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I collected Yu-Gi-Oh! But even then, I knew it wasn't like really for me. I think that they kind of just sucked me in with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. I think that's the secret sauce for getting me to like your thing, is that you have to have an anime to trick me into, into investing in your stuff. By the way, you can see my switches on screen here just to prove how much of a gamer I am, or a geek, or whatever you want to say. I have the Switch OLED and the original Switch hanging out there, one for me and one for my partner. But yeah, I just don't really, even when I was a kid and I collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I wanted to battle, and everybody at school had them, but we didn't necessarily know how to play, I guess, or if we did, we were playing with like fake rules or like the TV anime rules, which were not the official rules, and then I would just never have the opportunity to actually play. Like maybe if you were lucky, one Saturday a kid would come over, but you'd be playing the same kid who had the same deck. Maybe he'd get a couple new cards every now and then, so it was sort of difficult for me to get into it. I worked in a retro video game store in my early 20s, I think, when I was in university, and they had a great Magic the Gathering scene and a Yu-Gi-Oh scene and the Pokemon Trading Card Game scene, and I thought all of that was cool, but at that point it was a little intimidating to enter. I kind of feel like there's still a chance later in life I'll become a Magic the Gathering person. Right now, honestly, if I was going to jump into any camp, it would be the Digimon Trading Card Game, just because I'm so familiar with the characters and the art has been so impressive so far. This part was awkward because this is me struggling to open the cards, the pack I should say, and not knowing like the proper etiquette for opening cards. I wasn't sure if you guys were gonna like roast me in the comments for shredding the packaging. I don't know what you're supposed to do properly. And yeah, in terms of rewinding the clock a bit and talking about when I was a kid and my relationship to card games there, Yu-Gi-Oh was the closest I ever got. Everybody had Pokemon cards obviously, but nobody knew how to play the game. And then I had Digimon cards too, but I definitely had no one to play that game with. So yeah, it just became a thing that I wasn't really crazy about in any capacity, other than maybe the year or two when I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because even as a kid, I was worried about clutter and stuff like that and having too many things. I couldn't really tell you why. I don't know why, but I would get, you know, booster pack and booster pack and booster pack and starter deck, and then I would just have those tins of like useless cards, like cards that I knew I would never ever use, and I knew that would go for nothing, because at the time everyone was saying how much Yu-Gi-Oh cards are going to be worth and how you're going to be a millionaire for flipping them when in 10 years, which was, you know, baloney. There's a few cards that are obviously valuable, but if you just had like a random card from the Yu-Gi starter deck, then that was just going to be worth nothing, and that ended up being the case. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is, this is not me, I don't know, dunking on card game collectors. I think it's an awesome hobby, but as somebody who has, I don't know, I guess an issue with having too much stuff around, I live in a smaller apartment now. I am very mindful of like too much stuff, and I think the nature of physical trading card games is such that you get like, you know, on average, you can tell me if I'm wrong, one good card out of every 6 duplicate cards or common cards. And again, I get it, totally get it, just doesn't work for me and my interests. And it's the same thing with video games that are like RNG heavy. I really value my time and my physical space, and so that's why, for as much as I love those holographic cards I showed you at the start of the video, and a few select other cards I pulled, like I pulled a bunch of great Tesla Jellymon cards earlier, and just Jellymon line cards that I'm really happy I have, and I'm definitely going to keep those. But for every cool holographic Jellymon, there's like a stack of 200 commons and duplicates that I have no purpose for, and I just feel so weird about that. I don't know. Again, I hope I don't sound like I'm condemning people who like the card games. I genuinely, truly am not like trying to do that. It's just, for me, it's not something I feel good about having afterwards. Like I'll have 20 sick cards and then a stack of 200 cards that I have no interest in, and I just feel like weird, and yeah, I just feel weird about it after all. Maybe something like the Duel Links games they have, or the Magic the Gathering. I know they have like a really impressive web client or mobile client. I forget if it's a mobile game or a Steam game. But I think when I was talking to Karn EX in the video we did right before Digimon Con, and we were talking about our hopes and dreams for Digimon franchise going into that show, he was asking me about the card game, what it would take to get me into the card game. And I had said straight up, honestly, probably I would get into it if there was a digital client where you could purchase digital packs and battle that way. I just don't vibe with like the physicality of having a million cards that you don't want, and then it's just too much of a money sink for me personally. Again, not condemning anyone. I'm so sorry if this sounds like I'm taking shots at like the card game community, but if I just want to get the cards that I truly want, you know, it's expensive and it's challenging to hunt them down, and not everybody has that disposable income. I definitely did not when I was a kid. So yeah, it's just a part of fandom that doesn't work for me. It never really has. For some reason, I'm tearing into this box in the footage right now. I don't remember if this footage is out of order or it's just way behind, but yeah, and my audio might not even be synced with the video right now, but I'm looking at myself ripping open this box of cards. Anyways, where were we? Should you or can you expect more Digimon Trading Card Game content from me in the near future? It's not very likely. It's not something I'm planning to do unless they blow me away in some capacity, or if I find a hybrid way to cover it. Like, again, in the video I just recently did, it was a video talking about the X-Antibody Digimon partners that exist, and I relied pretty heavily on the card art because I had just opened up these cards and I was so impressed with so much of the art. So in a scenario like that, then sure, I can see myself touching on the Digimon Trading Card Game. But the biggest thing I never want to do is lie to you guys or pretend that I'm more knowledgeable than I am about a certain subject. I already feel kind of funny sometimes about the Digino as a name, because it sort of implies that I'm like a genius or that I know every single component of the franchise, and you know, it's just not the case. Everybody has their blind spots, and the card game is definitely a blind spot for me. I would be the first to admit it, and I have admitted it before, and I'm admitting it in this video as well. So yeah, I'm not really planning to jump into the card game. I hope this video is maybe like informative or gives closure to some people who always wanted to see me open the cards, I guess. Hopefully this is even entertaining. You might just be like so bored listening to me ramble about why I don't like the thing you like. I hope that's not how this comes across, but if it does, I don't mean it in a malicious way. I will say, after sort of researching this box and understanding what content could be inside of the PT09 box, I am now pretty interested in seeing like what cards are coming next to the card game, because previously I would only see sort of slightly on my Twitter timeline. Like a fan of Digimon would be tweeting about like their new favorite card or some art that they're excited about. Definitely when I hear they announce like BT10 and future sets, I will be online looking at the new card art to see what's in store for people who are planning to pick up the boxes or the card packs, but I don't think I'm going to be chasing down booster boxes or singles that I want to get online. It's just not the collection for me. But again, everybody has their thing. If you're Canadian like I am, then you will remember the commercial from the early 2000s and late 90s when they said everybody's good at something, nobody's good at everything, or whatever. And then the kid says, what's your thing? My thing is not trading card games, unfortunately, but I do weird other stuff. I collect like the Rock Band instruments from late 2000s, like the Guitar Hero and Rock Band drums. For some reason, I have an avid interest in collecting all that junk. So I'm not, throwing stones or making fun of anybody's hobbies. I have my own, and the trading card game stuff is pretty dope. It's just not really for me. So where to go from here? I guess that's it. I don't know. Sorry, this is such a weird video. On that note, let me tell you, again, Mecha Japan sent me the box, and I do appreciate it. This was an interesting experiment to see how I would react to the Digimon Trading Card Game, because you never know. I wasn't really intending to become a fan, but for all I know, when I got them in my hand and I started opening, I would fall in love with the entire thing and start enjoying the card game community. Didn't really happen. Still could happen for all we know. But not happening anytime soon. But speaking of Mecha Japan, they also wanted me to let you know that they have a voucher code for anybody watching this video. They have a bunch of really cool Digimon stuff, whether it's cards or figures or Vital Bracelet dim cards on their site, Mecha Japan. So if you want, there's a voucher code in the description of this video, and it should be in the pinned comment as well. Use that voucher code from my video, and you're gonna get $10 US off any order over $60 US. So yeah, that's that. This was an interesting and kind of fun experiment for me. I'm happy that I got a chance to unpack a bunch of these cards, but don't expect Digimon Trading Card Game content on either the Digino or the Digino 02 anytime soon. Again, never want to lie to you guys, and so I'm not going to fake interest or fake knowledge about the card game that I don't have too much interest in or too much knowledge of. So anyways, hope we can still be friends. Don't be mad. Almost every other video, someone comments and asks why I'm not covering the card game or if I play the card game. So let's close that chapter, and hopefully we get back to Digimon Ghost Game episode 22 pretty soon. And when we do, I'll see you on the main channel with the episode review. Okay, peace out. Take care. See you in the next video. Bye.